Okay, this is a response to open challenge to all atheists. Can you disprove God? First of all, I have to say that a number of the responses were completely correct in pointing out logically that the burden of proof lies with the positor. If you posit something, you are required to have the proof. Um, Religious tend to think that you start with God and then people deny it. Um, that's not the case in terms of logic or reason. Atheism is the null hypothesis. The room is empty until it's proven there's something else there. In the case of the existence of a God, the proof would have to be extraordinary. Secondly, in terms of directly disproving a God, the Judeo-Christian Islamic God is a bit easier to attack because of the three O's: omniscience, omnipotence, omnibenevolence. These are internally inconsistent and externally inconsistent with the current universe as we know it. There's suffering and evil, and an omnibenevolent God wouldn't have suffering and evil unless he wasn't omnipotent, which supposedly he is. A standard Christian apology for this is the response that free will requires suffering, which is nonsense, but even if it did in the current universe, you'd have to say that God created the universe that tied free will with suffering and allowed both to exist. That means either he is not omnibenevolent, he allowed suffering, or he's not omnipotent because he couldn't separate free will and suffering. One of the two. Either way, what you have is attributes that have been posited for him that are internally or externally inconsistent. And it should force you to go back to first sources and say, okay, what is wrong here? Or is anything even right here?